ladies, Phoebe here. Welcome to your home practice. This is your home practice warm-up video. And as we discussed together in our live transmission, warm-up really just refers to how we are starting to introduce movement to our spine as we begin practice. So keeping in mind that the practice of yoga focuses primarily on our breath, right? So conscious breath is the most important aspect of our practice. And then physically in our body, we are concentrating on the health of our spine. And the central line of our body, our energetic spine, is a very potent place, especially as we begin to cultivate a breath-centered practice. So maintaining the integrity and health of our spine is of the utmost importance as we start to dive into practice. And as we discussed, there are some primary movements of the spine. And so as you begin to introduce movement into your body, as you step onto your mat, you want to consider touching on those primary movements of the spine, just as a way to wake up your physical body, wake up your energetic body. And there are several ways that you can do this, and as you start to practice more and more, and perhaps go to community practices or practice online, you'll see that every instructor begins in a different way. But what is a common thread is touching on those primary movements of the spine. So as you begin, make your way to a comfortable seat. Allow the hands to rest on the thighs, which can feel really nice, or they can sit in your lap. Right hand cradled in your left hand, or anything else that feels comfortable to you. So coming back to this idea of finding a place, a balance between comfort and ease. So there should be some comfort in your practice, some ability to maintain a posture, but also you might feel challenged, and that's okay also. So comfort and ease, but also some challenge. As you begin, allow the eyes to float closed. Notice the touch points that are connected with the earth, your sit bones, the backs of the legs, the ankles perhaps. And as you press into those connection points, invite length through the spine, through the central channel, up to the crown of your head, as if there's imaginary string attached to the crown of your head and it's gently drawing the crown toward the sky. We always begin focusing on our breath. It's nice to open with a few cleansing breaths. So if you can here, drink a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Deep breath in as you fill up. Sighing out of the mouth. Last one here, deep breath in. A slow release. Now you'll close the mouth and just enjoy the breath traveling in and out through your nose. Without judgment, without expectation, can you simply notice your breath? So we have somewhere near 20,000 breaths per day. Think about how many of those breaths are unconscious. Our body just breathes without us having to think about it. But what if you became more conscious of each and every breath? Could you perhaps begin to deepen that breath? Maybe lengthening the inhale and the exhale. Could you perhaps begin to draw your awareness to the quality of your breath? Is it long or short, deep or shallow? Breath is such a wonderful entry point into your practice. And if you're interested, such a wonderful entry point into meditation as well. Really, the physical practice of yoga prepares us for meditation. So as you start to dive a little deeper, the asana, the shapes that we form on our mat, become a meditation. So let's just enjoy a few more rounds of breath. In and out through the nose, no expectation, no judgment, just breathing. If it's meaningful to you, you can draw your hands together at the center of your chest. This is the space we refer to as the energetic heart. I also like one hand over my heart, one hand over my belly, so I can really feel the physical manifestation of breath. Or you can leave hands where they were. And let's set a collective intention together today. That is one of exploration. So some of us are very new to this practice, and we're beginning to discover our bodies in ways that we've never really noticed before. We're starting to move our body in ways that it's never moved before. So let's release any expectation that we have on ourselves for how this should go or what this should look like, and let us just enjoy this new pathway we're creating. What would that look like, and what would that feel like to you? From here, allow the eyes to gently blink open. If your legs have been crossed, you might just consider switching the cross of the legs. Part of our physical asana, our physical practice, is to maintain balance and homeostasis in the body. And what can happen is our body creates habitual patterns, which is so normal, right? And we have a tendency to do like the same leg in front of the other when we're crossing legs or things like that. So just notice, can you switch from time to time? Allow your hands to rest on your knees. And as you inhale, rock forward on the pelvis and let the center of the chest gently open. The gaze can lift slightly. And as you exhale, rock back on the pelvis. Drop your chin and your gaze, breathing into the space between your shoulder blades, which is known as the back door of the heart energetically. Continue in this way. Inhale, rock forward, center of the chest rising. Gaze lifts with the eyes more than the chin. And as you exhale, rock back, coil in. Continue with your breath. So allow the full length of the inhale to rock you forward. And all the full length of the exhale to rock you backward. And keep in mind as we move, continue at your own pace, that my breath is really just a suggestion. So my breath rhythm may be longer or shorter than yours, and that is okay. It's just here to serve as a reminder for you. What's more important is that your breath is the container for your movement. So your movement happens inside the container of your breath. Your breath wraps around your movement. So you aren't moving faster than your breath. So important. A couple more like this. And on your next exhale, come back to a neutral spine. And we'll start to enjoy circles. So allow the torso to shift to the right, forward, to the left, and back. Just twice more. To the right, forward, to the left, and back. Again. So the inhale brings you forward. And the exhale draws you back. Come to neutral. We'll enjoy the second side. So torso goes left, forward, inhale, around. And this is all the exhale here. Twice more. Inhale, draws you forward. Exhale around. And please know that as you move and start to feel more comfortable within this movement, that you can let the head and the neck release, the shoulders can get more involved. This can be as big or as little as you'd like. Let's come back to neutral now. Bring your right hand outside of your hip, find your fingertips. And as you inhale, sweep the left arm up and overhead. And as you exhale, come into a lateral opening. Inhale draws us through center. Exhale, left fingertips to the earth. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, lateral opening. With breath, inhale. Exhale. Now one breath per movement. Inhale. Exhale. Allow the hands to be soft. And gaze can be wherever feels comfortable for the neck. So sometimes it's nice to look up under the arm. Sometimes it's nice for the gaze to be more neutral or down even. So no right or wrong, just listen to how your neck is feeling. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. Last time each side, breath out. Deep breath in. Full, complete breath out. Inhale once arriving back at center. You might switch across of your legs again. Bring your right hand behind your seat. Inhale, left arm reaches tall. Exhale, revolve with your torso from your center around to the right. Find your knee. Inhale, bring length to your spine. Exhale, ring out gently. So twists are often overdone. We're often cranking the spine in our twists. And when we do that, we miss the benefits. So find that place of stability and ease. Find that place of comfort that also offers a challenge. With every breath in, can you explore more length through the crown? With every breath out, perhaps revolving just a tiny bit more. Make your way back through center. Pause. We'll enjoy the other side. So left fingertips behind us. Inhale, right arm. Exhale, revolve from your center. Find your knee. Sit tall with an in-breath, root down into your seat, extend through the crown, and with the out-breath, we revolve. Find your rhythm here. Chin stays neutral over the sternum, so often we want to look over that back shoulder. It can actually create more tension in our neck. So again, no need to force. explore 3 more breath cycles. Unwind. Make your way through center. I'm going to move my lovely candle here over to the other side. The risks of getting fire involved in your practice. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips. Allow the fingertips to find the earth. Breath in, create more length. Leave from the center of the chest. And as you exhale, you might allow the fingertips to walk forward just slightly. So the goal in yoga, though there's never really a goal, but the goal is never how far we fold, how far we come into a shape. It's maintaining the health and integrity of our spine. So it's more important that we find length in our spine, less important how close to the earth we are here. On your next breath in, start to walk your fingertips toward your body once again. So this could be just a very simple opening for your physical practice. I'm going to lead us through a few more explorations, and that's just to give you some variety. So please continue on, but I want you to know that it can be really as simple as this. And it starts to open up your spine in the primary movements, and it starts to connect your breath to that movement. So it doesn't have to be complicated at all, right? So let us continue by shifting onto our hands and our knees. I just want to make sure that you can see me, so I just have to take a look here. And what you want here is your wrists aligned under your shoulders, your knees aligned under your hips. Feel the balance of drawing your belly in, extending out through the crown and back through your seat. And as you inhale, let the sit bones and the center of the chest rise. As you exhale, press through the earth, coil in, and gaze at your navel. Inhale. Let the sit bones, the chest, the gaze with the eyes lift, less with the chin, more with the eyes. Exhale and round. And now start to move with your breath. So this movement is actually the same that we opened with when we were seated. We're just now doing it on hands and knees. When you take community practice, this is often called cat-cow, which I don't love. So I try to avoid using those words, but this is it. And you can stay here, or as a gentle reminder, you can invite your own movement into this space. So you can start to create some circles here with the body. Or anything else that feels good. Ensuring that you are doing that movement in both directions if you're taking circles. Remember that our practice is not focused on what we look like, but how we feel. And what's so lovely about this online pathway that we are exploring is that you get to do this maybe in the privacy of your own sacred space. So there's no one else around you that can see what you look like. And there's so much beauty in that because you can really just explore. So coming back to neutral, pause here. Keep the hips aligned over the knees just as they are, and start to walk your hands as far forward as you can. Allow the head and neck to release, and maybe the forehead touches the floor.
In Sanskrit, this shape is called Anahatasana. Anahata refers to the energetic heart. You might also hear this called puppy pose, again, which I don't love. From Anahata here, let your forearms release and just slide forward onto your belly. Just going to make sure that you can see me here. So what you want is the elbows under your shoulders, shoulder width apart, tops of the feet pressing firmly into the earth, legs engaged so much that you feel the kneecaps lift. Press your palms down and draw them toward you so that the center of the chest begins to move between the window of your arms. This is Sphinx Pose, Sphinx shape. I don't really enjoy the word pose either because I think the connotation is that we get into something and then we pose, right? Like for a moment to capture just this moment of performance. And that's really not what our practice is about. On your next exhale, let your whole body release to the earth, and you won't be able to see my arms all the way, but they're going to extend over my head, and the palms are going to touch. My forehead will rest on the mat. As we move through our practice, keep your head down. My head is just lifted so that maybe you can hear me better. When we move through our practice and we lay our body down onto the earth like this, we call this full pranam. It's just like a full surrender, really a way to get grounded in our physical body and our practice and just give ourselves that moment. So take a deep breath in through your nose, out of your mouth. And draw your hands back under your shoulders. Return to hands and knees. And this time, bring the big toes together, the knees nice and wide. Drop your seat back toward your heels as much as you can. Walk the hands out in front of you. Release your forehead down onto the mat and pause. This is Balasana, child's pose, child shape. And here in Balasana and child shape, allow the belly to really expand between your thighs, releasing the low back. Notice if there's been a shift in your physical body. Notice if there's been a deepening of your breath. Enjoy an inhale through the nose. Out of the mouth. And then we'll return back to a comfortable seat. As always, this seat can be whatever's comfortable for you, right? So legs crossed or some other position, no problem. Just take a moment to settle in, close the eyes. Come back to our collective intention, which was simply one of exploration. Exploring the new pathways that we are creating in our body. Exploring perhaps this new way of movement. Exploring perhaps this new way of breathing. And take a moment to pause in gratitude that you gave yourself this time. You just carved out a short amount of time for yourself. Focus on breath. To move with intention. Inhale through the nose. Sigh it out. Allow the eyes to blink open. Thank you all so much. I will see you again very soon.